Oh, that's dope. Look at the moon. See it? See it? Another road trip off to Greeley, Colorado. Let's do this thing, I guess.
Here I am, in the place to be, Mr. K&B, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary, palms are hairy, your mama pop. What up, y'all? It's K&B, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for Paper Saber Universe. Welcome to the Sexy Ninjacast podcast, vlogcast for that ass. And if you read the title right, Greeley, Colorado. I'm here for work, and it's for 2 weeks. This is the desk I've been provided in my room, and it's a very nice place, man. Greeley's pretty cool. The downtown area is sweet. There's this cool nerd shop, the nerd store I went to. I got, hit the camera, my bad. But no, I got this cool card game, Jabba's Palace. And stuff like that. Yeah, it says, there will be no bargain. Descend into the lair of the vile gangster, Jabba the Hutt, in this quick card game of risk and deduction. And it's from a love letter game. Really great stuff here. Like, it comes with this little bag that I really, really like. You know, Jabba's Palace. Here's the amazing cards. Here's these cool chips or coins or whatever you want to call them. And this little rule book. I was like, that is adorable. And I picked up some comics, of course, because you know me, I have to. And it's an issue that I was missing. Superman 78, The Metal Curtain, by Robert Venditti. And Robert Venditti did Green Lantern for a bit. I got to meet him at a Comic-Con, and he's a really cool dude. And when I found out that he wrote the first one. So this is essentially a sequel to the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. So as you can see, there's that there, and this is issue 2, and I missed out. I have all the other issues except for this one. I got this one, first print and everything like that, so I'm very, very happy. The only thing I'm scared of is when I need to travel with it, and they really didn't give me a bag and board. So, but no, man, I just wanted to come up on here and just catch up with everybody. I've been watching so much wrestling, you know, and if you haven't noticed, there's been a lot of wrestling podcasts from here since the last Sexy Ninja Cast. But no, Greeley's been interesting. We've been going out for work to dinners and stuff like that. We got to eat at this really cool Mexican place called Rio's that's right down there. And it's phenomenal food, man. We've got to try this really cool pho place. We got to try another Asian cuisine place. I just got back from this Chinese buffet called Family Buffet, just down the road. Oh, so good. They had this crab. Like, I don't know what it was, but I knew it was like imitation crab with some cheese on it or something. But it was delicious. Noodles, wontons, everything like that. We went to this other place that had I think it's called the Continental Public House or something like that, but it's a really cool place. I keep wanting to venture out to the mall, but because I'm here for 2 weeks for this business trip and stuff like that, and everybody keeps telling me, no, you don't want to go to the mall. You don't want to go to the mall. So, and I'm just like, oh, okay, fine. I don't want to go to the mall, but I miss my family, of course, you know, and having a lot of fun with the New World podcast. But yeah, no, this has been cool, and got some little tricks and treats here. I got this, let's see. Oh, yes. And it was funny, it's like, I don't know how I'm going to get this on the plane, so I need to stop buying stuff. So, got this really awesome Grand Admiral Thrawn from Ahsoka. And of course, Professor Hugh Yang. Great character, man. And Star Wars, it's a Star Wars life for me. So, yeah, but it's been long days, you know, but today was my day off, and I got to enjoy myself. Went shopping a little bit, grabbed the essentials. You know, I got bread, I got chips here, I got all types of stuff here. So this has been my studio space. And it's funny because there's a little thing over here where you can control the fan of the room. And it's funny because there's a humming. There's a, and it like, every time I went to go edit New World Podcast, those have been strictly audio because it's been easier to do that. But strictly audio and trying to make sure that I don't get any background noise or anything like that. You're probably getting background noise now because there's something going on somewhere here in this room. But I didn't know I could control that. I didn't know I could turn the fan off. So I was like, oh, all right. After I recorded, say 1, 2, 3, 4 podcasts in this room, and to the effects of the audio and everything like that, and me going crazy, like trying to get the humming down and, you know, space it out, take out that sound and stuff like that. I was successful, but if I knew I could control the fucking fan, I would have done it in the first place. So, and this place is pretty nice in the sense of like, I don't know how much the next person can hear me in the next room, but you know, I've been chilling here. I've been playing music. I listened to that new Monoxide Chainsmoker album, Chainsmoker 2. Awesome album, man. Anxiety is one of my favorite songs off that album. You know, it's such a good album, man. And I've been meaning to do the reviews and stuff like that. But today I have some time. Tomorrow I have another time, and I'm gonna go see Dune Part 2. My main reason to go to the Greeley Mall was because they have a movie theater there, and I really wanted to see Madam Web and see if it's as awful as everyone's saying it is. Everyone's like, no, don't do it, it's awful, it's terrible. I'm like, God, that's why I want to see it, man. You know, but yeah, so just been chilling. I've been writing a lot. I've been just catching up on certain projects and certain things I want to do. And I've been meaning to get like more out there, like of Greeley, so we can see Greeley, you know, on this trip. I was going to vlog some of the stuff, but it's just been so go in my life that I just haven't had the time. And with these upcoming days off, you know, I'm taking the time to really take in this town and everything, like the city. Is it a city or a town? Like it's like Flagstaff City, right? So it's considered a city. There's a lot to do here. And the downtown area is really cool. It's like broken off in sections, and there's a lot of cool bars and stuff like that. Like right down here is the Family Dollars where I got all my stuff, toothbrush and stuff like that, snackages, everything I need. And they've been taking care of me. That's what there's another humming sound. That's the fridge over there. But yeah, they've really been taking care of me, and I just been working, man, and just trying to keep, you know, work life, podcast life, you know, at a certain level of like, okay, I got a job to do, but on my free time I got other stuff to do. And I just got done watching The Flash, and you were like, how's that being productive? Well, you want to know how that's being productive? I cried like a little baby again. There's something about that movie. Every time I watch it more and more and more, I love that movie. You know, and I'm a big advocate for DC and stuff like that. And I really did. I liked Aquaman, and the second time I saw it, I liked it a little bit more. Still a bit choppy, the Lost Kingdom movie, but watching The Flash and understanding, like, in a deeper sense of meaning, like every time I watch it. So I was laying here on the bed watching it, and imagine holding your own self and seeing yourself die, and also like telling yourself, no, we can't fix this. No, like, because your younger self is much more immature. You know, he's much more stubborn. You know, and that's like, when I first saw the movie, young Barry annoyed the shit out of me. But I was like, that's on purpose though. Because if I met my younger self, I bet you $1 I would annoy the hell out of myself. You know, I'm a totally different person than I was back then. And I can't imagine you being in that moment, especially with Barry, with himself, a stubborn, you know, young Barry who's, you know, tries to crack jokes and tries to be funny, but he's really not. And you're like, was that me back then? Man, I've come a long way. And you got this Barry who's kind of torn. You know, he lost his mom, and this Barry hasn't yet. And, you know, coming to draws with, like, you know, this young Barry doesn't want to accept death because he thinks there's always a way out. You know, with all problems, sometimes there's no solution. And I think this time, I don't know why, I was just laying here just watching. And the main reason, and it was funny, is like the main reason I was laying down is because I went to the Chinese restaurant, got stuffed, and I was like, oh man, I came here and put on my jammies and stuff like that, took off my chain, took off my hat, and I was like, you know, I was like, I'm gonna go lay down, and I went and laid down for a bit, and then I was like, oh, the Flash movie, why not? And it comes in right when they go to Russia with Batman, and that's another thing that I feel like the first time I watched it, I took it for a granted. Is 89 Batman. That's the Batman I grew up on, you know, before this whole crazy cinematic universe we have here. And really understanding like, oh wow, you know, like I don't know why, but this time around I'm watching him just be Batman, and then we're like, where's your parachute? And he goes, and you have the music, you know, the Danny Elfman music and stuff like that. It's just, oh, mwah, chef's kiss. Oh, so fucking good. And then you see him in action. It's just like, whoa, like if I can go tell my younger self, like, dude, this Batman is turning like this and turning like this and punching stuff and all this and that. And, you know, he's going to be fucking badass later on in life. You're going to see this Batman again. And you say goodbye to this Batman, you know, because when he dies and, first he's like, I'm on a suicide dive into this Kryptonian ship, but oops, I forgot there's a shield. And then when they go back in time, they save him again, and then he dies, and he's like, I could bring you back. He's like, you already did, you know. And that kind of choked me up too, because it's like saying goodbye to that Batman, 89 Batman, but not really saying goodbye because you can watch the movie. And I love Supergirl in this movie. I really wish she was used a lot more. I understand that her dying over and over again was a lesson of this can't be fixed. This whole thing can't be fixed. And the ultimate sacrifice is Barry's mom. And that is so as I'm watching it and you're fighting with your younger self, you're telling him stop. And then you meet the ultimate like terrible version of yourself. And that version is telling Barry like, hey, I've almost got it. And the worlds are collapsing. We finally get to see Nick Cage, Superman, and stuff like that. And I know there's a lot of controversy with that scene with them going through George Reeves, Superman, and stuff like that. And, you know, Christopher Reeve and all this and that. Yeah, and you got to see Adam West's Batman, but, you know, there's a lot of controversy. I'm not going to talk about the controversy. I'm going to just talk about watching the movie itself, you know, and seeing Nick Cage as Superman. It's just like, I remember being in the theater like, this is what I wanted to see, because I already heard about that spoiler. And being somebody who's deep in the lore of just like behind the scenes stuff and whatnot. And thank God bless, one of my biggest heroes, Kevin Smith, for telling that story about him writing his first draft for Tim Burton's Superman movie, the movie we never got, you know. And there's also a really great documentary on that movie. Really, really great documentary. You got to find it. I think I have a physical copy somewhere, but I know it should be online. You know, the Death of the Superman Lives movie. But they never used Kevin Smith's script. I got Kevin Smith's script printed out and put it on the shelf just because I thought it was cool. But you got to see that. And coming back to Barry, he has to make the ultimate sacrifice. He has to say, I got it, you know, and the young Barry doesn't want to hear it. And that's where I started like getting really emotional, because I was like, yeah, he has to go back and, you know, he has to say goodbye to his mom. He's gonna, even though it's tomatoes that, you know, that she forgot, that's why we went on this journey in the first place, because he's like, if she didn't forget the tomatoes, what if this? And at first I thought that was the dumbest fucking concept. And then when you really think about it, it's the little things in life. What if? Oh shit, what if I didn't turn off that light, my house wouldn't catch on fire. Oh shit, man, if I didn't run over that glass, my tires wouldn't, you know, the little things no one really thinks about that can cause major effect. And that's the point of the tomato can, in my opinion, is you don't know. And it's always something small, and we take things for granted in that way. So when he goes and meets his mom, he sees his other self put the tomatoes in the thing, and he's like, see you later, mom, and takes off that hits. And then he goes over and he's just like, yeah, you know, that's the cereal, I like it, and it's about to, you know, they're gonna discontinue it, or I heard about that. And it's just a great moment, man. And I'm getting like kind of teary thinking about it. It's just, he has to say goodbye. And he's like, I am causing this moment. And as a hero, he's making the sacrifice, you know. He does change things a little bit by getting his dad off from jail and everything like that. But that moment right there, and then when he freezes time just for a little bit, and there's that little thing like, I love you, now I love you more, I loved you first, you know, and that dialogue right there, and he says that to her while he stopped time and everything like that, and I wish I had on this TV, I can't pause movies because it was playing on HBO. I started bawling. Sorry to this poor person next door. They're like, what the hell's this big head boy doing? I'm like, I was bawling, man. I don't know. It just overwhelmed. It just came over me, and I'm just like, yeah, Barry, you know. But I love movies, man, and I'm gonna try to watch Dune because I want to see Dune Part 2 because there is a movie theater that is right down here. It's called not the Twerk. No, Kirk's. I don't know. It's a little movie theater and it has a bar in it and thing like that. And it has you can watch Dune. I think they have Dune and the Bob Marley movie playing, and I'm really excited to see what the theater is like. I don't drink when I go to the movies. I just something that I've always just been against. I don't, you know, I'm not against drinking. I'm just against like going to a movie and drink and stuff because I know Steven sometimes wants us to go to the Draft Alamo House. Did I say it right? Alamo House? Alamo. So yeah, I watched The Flash and me catching up on everything with the wrestling. I hope you're enjoying the wrestling podcast, man. You know, it's almost the 500 episodes. Almost. I think I just dropped episode 474 or something like that, and I'm just like, damn. That is a lot of time and a lot of wrestling, and this week in itself is a lot of wrestling because there's a big pay-per-view that is on Sunday night, and I got that to watch. Then another week, and then I'm out flying back to Flagstaff, well, to Phoenix first, and then Big Daddy's gonna pick me up. He's the one to drop me off at the airport and let me fly away. And what's nice though is like I know how to travel. You know, my biggest worry was like, you know, the few other times I've traveled was with Colin going to Camp Zool, going to Gorefest, and oh man, oh geez, that's the story I wanted to tell. So it pertains to this hat and to LSP. So one, there's going to be a triple MFD show on the 8th. And that's when I fly out. And I was like, of course. So, you know, and I was like, damn it. And second of all, this hat made me look like a dumbass. The hat's beautiful. The hat's amazing. It's one of my favorite hats. I bought it at the show, Gorefest, and it has a lot of memories, and it means a lot to me. So let me put that out there first, okay? So I come back from training, and like I walk around, and I thought I put my hat in a certain area, and it wasn't there. I was like, what? You know, and it's an orange hat, like. I start freaking out. I'm like, what the hell? You know, and then I start calling the office. I was like, yo, where's my hat? Where's my hat? And then, and they're like, sir, we'll I'll definitely ask the housemates. I said, okay. And I'm like freaking out. I call the wife. I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, you okay? I was like, my hat. I'm looking for my hat everywhere. Like, I called the desk. I went over here, down there, like this and that. And then she's just like, calm down. And I was like, no. I was like, so if someone stole my hat, that's not cool, man. Like, and she's like, it's just a hat. I was like, no, it's my LSP hat. I love this fucking hat. And so she goes, stop. I said, yes. And then she's like, breathe. I'm like, okay. She goes, look one more time. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I went to that side of the room, to this here, and there's this chair that's behind me. And I walked up to the chair, and I was like, okay. And I was like, Shannon, I was like, I know the hat's not here. It was on the ground behind that chair. So I went down personally because, you know, I was like, hey, I am very, very sorry. My bad, you know, and I apologized, and the wife's like, you're going to check out some money to make sure you leave a nice tip for these guys, because they work a lot, you know, they work very hard, and I know they do, and I jump to conclusions and stuff like that. So it was just funny, because I was like, let's see, yeah, we'll just say this is the phone. I was like, Shannon, it has to be, oh, shit. I was like, who's the asshole now? That's me, 100%. Mr. Big Head Boy Jabba. But it's been an adventure. I love adventures. You know, I love talking, especially to people about it. If you're watching this on the YouTube, I appreciate it. You know, there's still a lot of stuff that's coming. If you want to check out the archives as well, there's so much stuff in the archives. If you're new to the podcast, the difference is the Sexy Ninjacast is about my adventures, about things I love, things I dislike, or things, you know, movie reviews, music reviews. The Sexy Ninjacast is like a podcast that's just all over the place, but it's focused on me and my loves, interests, hobbies, and stuff like that. So, and if you like pro wrestling, go check out the New World podcast. That's I drop one for every single show, mainly WWE and AEW. I was thinking of putting in TNA. I did Ring of Honor for a bit, but got burnt out pretty quick. But there's a lot of stuff going on in WWE right now. So if you want wrestling talk, that's the place to go. And yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna watch another movie here in a bit, but after I get this done and edit it up. But yeah, some cool trinkets, man. Greeley, Colorado is a cool place. It's a very cool place. You know, I got my nerdy things in my life, things that I got to figure out how I'm gonna pack. Because I had to pack for 2 weeks, so that's a lot of shit. Then I got to figure out all the stuff that I bought just for here, then get rid of it, and you know, toothbrush. Do you have anybody out there in the traveling world have any advice of making life a little bit easier, especially? Oh, someone's having fun out there. Especially if you have a large suitcase you have to pack. And I think I should get a suitcase. Is that recommended? You know, little rolly boys that you can put on carry-on and stuff like that. Because one more story before I go. When we were flying in here, I had my big ICP bag like filled to the brim. My Star Wars bag was filled to the brim, you know, with my computer and stuff like this. And I think I kind of overpacked it a little bit. Now I know a little bit better, but I was like, man, one of those rolly boys would really help me out right now. Just because when we got in the plane, he couldn't put the ICP bag in the thing above because it was too thick. It was a thick boy, thick like me, thick in my lady lumps, my lovely lady lumps. You know, it's too thick. So he's like, yeah, you can carry, you put the other bag up. I was like, be careful, my computer's in that bag. He goes, okay, it's fine. He boom, put the bag up. And then he's like, yeah, put that one underneath in front of you. And I was like, okay. And I'm already a big boy. I'm a big man. Well, I'm not that big. I'll suck it in a little bit. So I put it in front, but then like the bag's too big on the floor and I can't move my feet. And then like this guy's next to me, and there's cramped seats in an airplane, especially if you're big and thick, but sexy. Thick and sexy, okay? Thick and sexy, God damn it. But yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. And like, I'm sitting with my legs like this. And I'm like, I felt a cramp on this side. I was like, oh, please, God. I know it's only a 2-hour flight, maybe less than an hour, but I was like, oh, please, God, don't let me. So like, I'm uncomfortable the entire time. So if anybody has any travel tips, drop them in the comments below. And I'm glad I got to come and see Greeley, Colorado. And there's a few more reviews and stuff I got to do. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it with your grandma, share it with your grandpa, share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And remember, stay sexy, ninjas. Whoop, whoop.
Welcome to the wicked shit.